when people show up in your office with Candida problems, what are their major symptoms? What should they be looking for?
That's a good question. So theoretically, what's supposed to happen is when you first develop Candida, one of the first things you notice is your energy crashes, and you don't know why. And you start having cognitive issues. You start forgetting things. And then you notice you're starting to have gas and bloating and maybe burp. If your HCl is low, you're getting burping. You're having all these digestive problems. And then if you're aware enough, you'll start to notice strange reactions to foods you never reacted to before. Typically, foods that contain any type of yeast, even food yeast, you'll have allergies to. And you'll start having strange reactions to sugar or carbs or beer, things like you might have handled before and now making you bloat horribly. If you drink alcohol, you'll have whatever your standard alcohol is, and you'll be hungover for 3 or 4 days instead of maybe a few hours like you used to be. And when it gets really bad, the person's going to start having what we used to call universal reactive syndrome, where you're just reacting to everything in your environment. Any chemical smell, chemical odor. You can't go to a bar where there's smoke and perfume. You can't walk down the aisle of the supermarket where the cleaning solutions are. You'll just be wiped out by it. That's what you typically want to expect. However, I can tell you, I've heard the craziest stories in my life. People who had Candida, the weirdest symptoms, strangest symptoms. And I was telling someone this story just the other day. We had a patient who had Candida, and she was doing okay. She was recovering, and then all of a sudden her symptoms got worse, even though her Candida was getting better. And to make a long story short, we traced it down to a person who moved in to the apartment next to her, who was doing research on molds and aspergillus. And this person was growing all this mold and aspergillus in their apartment. And some of the mold spores were getting in her apartment, and she was reacting allergically to them. Now, I never would have figured that. That took a while to figure out, but these are the kind of things that can occur. And environmental stimulation, you could say, can be stunning in Candida patients.